All right, everyone, settle in. In our lecture today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating and practical application of the AI principles we've been discussing all semester. We're going to deconstruct a fundamental shift happening in how organizations are designed, and we'll use human resources as our primary case study. Now, HR is a field that has always been about human interaction, right? But it's being completely reshaped by intelligent systems. So what we'll do is analyze the blueprint for what we call an AI-augmented structure. We're going to get past the buzzwords and really understand how it works, what it means for strategy, and how it completely redefines the role of people within a company. Let's get started. So, we have to start with the most fundamental question, the one that's going to guide our entire discussion today. What exactly is an AI-augmented team? You hear this term thrown around a lot. But for our purposes, as academics and practitioners, we need a really rigorous operational definition. How is a team like this structurally different from a traditional team that just, say, uses some AI software as a tool? That distinction is absolutely critical, and it's the key to understanding the deep organizational shift we're about to explore.
Okay, so to build a really clear answer to that question, we first need to look at the architectural blueprint of this new model. And I want to be clear. We are not talking about a small, incremental change here. We're talking about a genuine paradigm shift in how talent, technology, and day-to-day workflows are all woven together. It's a structure engineered specifically for the data-rich, fast-paced world we live in now.
Now here's our formal academic definition. An AI-augmented HR structure is way more than just giving your staff some new software. It's a formal organizational model where human decision-makers are systematically integrated with specialized AI systems. And here's the crucial part. These AI systems act as functional assistants. They're not just passive tools waiting to be used, they're active collaborators. Think of the AI as a permanent, specialized member of the team, with its own defined role and responsibilities, but always with a human in the loop to guide it.
This comparison here does a fantastic job of showing the difference. On the left, you've got the traditional model, pretty much how things have been done for decades. You have separate, siloed teams for recruitment, for onboarding, for performance reviews, and so on. Each is its own little world. But now, look to the right. The augmented model completely flips the structure on its head. You still have human leaders at the top, of course, but their job is no longer to directly manage teams of people doing tasks. Instead, they govern a suite of specialized AIs. This is a profound change in what management even means. You shift from managing people to governing the logic, the ethics, and the performance of automated systems.
So now that we've got the theoretical framework down, let's move from the abstract to the concrete. Because it's one thing to talk about blueprints and paradigms, it's another to see how it all works in the real world. In this next section, we'll break down the day-to-day operations and look at specific examples of these AI assistants in the HR process. This reimagined workflow shows how AI is integrated across three huge, high-volume parts of HR. We're going to dissect each of these stages one by one, starting with recruitment, then moving to onboarding, and finally to performance analysis, so you can really see the specific capabilities of these dedicated AI assistants. First up, the AI recruiter. And again, this isn't just a slightly better database. This is an intelligent agent designed to automate the most time-consuming parts of finding new talent. Think about it. It can autonomously post jobs, screen literally thousands of resumes against specific criteria with incredible speed and consistency, and then handle all the back and forth of scheduling initial interviews. The strategic value here is huge. It frees up the human recruiters from all that administrative work so they can focus on what humans do best, actually assessing candidates, building relationships, and thinking strategically about talent. All right, next, let's look at the onboarding process. So instead of being handed a massive binder on your first day, imagine you as a new employee interact with an AI onboarding guide. This could be a really sophisticated chatbot or an interactive knowledge system that's available 24/7. It can give you personalized guidance on everything from complex company policies to how to enroll in your benefits. The result is a consistent, efficient, and much less overwhelming experience for every single new hire, no matter where they are in the world. And finally, we have the AI performance analyst. This is a system built to take in and make sense of massive, often messy datasets. Things like employee surveys, 360-degree feedback, performance metrics. Its core job is pattern recognition, not judgment. It finds correlations, it flags anomalies, and it boils all that complex information down into a clear, digestible report. That report is then handed to a human manager. And that manager's role is absolutely essential. They provide the context, interpret the findings, and have a nuanced, meaningful conversation with their employee. The AI provides the data, the human provides the wisdom.
This quote from Bernard Marr really nails the single most important idea behind this entire model. For any of this to work, AI can't just be another tool you use. It can't be this separate thing over in the corner. It has to be deeply and seamlessly embedded into the core workflows. The AI recruiter isn't a tool that the hiring process uses. It becomes part of the hiring process itself. Understanding that distinction between just using a tool and true systemic integration is fundamental.
This brings us to what I think is the most critical part of our entire discussion. With all of this powerful automation handling traditional tasks, what happens to the human professionals? In this final section, we're going to explore how the role of human leadership isn't diminished at all. In fact, it's redefined and elevated to a role of even greater strategic importance.
This is the question that always comes up, and for good reason. If an AI can screen resumes and answer policy questions better and faster than a person can, what is left for the human HR professional to do? Is their job obsolete? And the answer, let me be very clear, is an unequivocal no. However, and this is a very big however, the nature of their job transforms completely. It shifts from tactical, day-to-day execution to high-level strategic oversight.
So, this is the new job description for a human leader in this augmented world. Their role shifts from being a player in the orchestra to becoming the conductor. Their main responsibilities are no longer about doing the tasks, but about governance and orchestration. They have to coordinate the outputs from all these different AI systems, they have to govern the AI's decision-making rules to make sure they're fair and unbiased, and, most critically, they have to ensure that everything the automated system does is in perfect alignment with the organization's strategy, its ethics, and its core values.
This really brings us to the ultimate thesis of the AI augmented model. If you remember one thing from today, I hope it's this. The goal is not replacement, it's a strategic partnership. You create a powerful symbiosis. The AI brings the computational scale, the incredible speed of data processing, and perfect consistency. But in this partnership, the humans provide the irreplaceable elements: strategic context, ethical judgment, emotional intelligence, and that final layer of oversight that a machine, by its very nature, simply cannot have.
And so this leads us to our final question, a critical one I want you to consider as we wrap up. As we build these incredibly powerful AI systems that can do more and more complex work on their own, the most essential human task becomes defining the rules and the values that guide them in the first place. If the AI is doing the work, who is responsible for programming its conscience? That's the foundational governance question that every organization and, frankly, our entire society has to confront right now.